Pro Evolution Soccer 4, also known as World Soccer Winning 11 in Japan, would be the fourth installment of Konami's popular Pro Evolution Soccer football series, and it would also be the first game to be released on the Microsoft Xbox that would feature online gameplay. It would also be the first game in the series to feature licensed leagues. As with each iteration of the Pro Evolution Soccer series, there was many advancements in terms of gameplay features, modes and even licensing acquirements that had been made that tried to help with making the game and the overall experience a lot more realistic, lifelike and very reflective of its time. Upon all of those attributes, the game would expand upon many features seen in Pro Evolution Soccer 3 with an expanded Master League that contains up to 72 teams, with a total of more than 200 club and national teams that you can choose from at any time, and would also be the first game to allow you to even see the referee on the pitch during the game, which is often not a sight that you would see in games beforehand. There was many types of ideas and concepts that were added into these games, with the likes of different types of visual preferences, with the likes of wear and tear, including dirt and even tears on clothes that you would see on players as they played, which was really cool because they tried to make it as realistic as possible at the time. The game would also go on to become one of the best selling games in the series and pretty much one of the best selling games of all time, as in Japan the PS2 version sold 1 million copies on its first day of release, and in Europe it would go on to sell 1.5 million on its first day of release. That set a massive sales record that was way beyond any of the previous entries in the series, and is still even considered today to be one of the best selling games in the franchise overall. The game got very high and pretty much insane reviews across the board, considering it for its time to be pretty much the best soccer game ever created on any platform, as it expanded upon all of the intricacies seen in Pro Evolution Soccer 3, and it generally just was a definitely more all-round and refined experience overall. And even for myself personally, having spent years playing previous entries in the Pro Evolution Soccer series, and even going back to the ISIS Pro or International Superstar Soccer games on the PlayStation 1 and on other consoles, this was at the time definitely one of the best soccer games out there. Pro Evolution Soccer 3 was a brilliant game, but for me, my favourite before Pro Evolution Soccer 4 would have been the second entry, as I found that a lot more easier to pick up and play. It just felt more fluent and dynamic, and they definitely had to bring that style back with the fourth entry. And like I have mentioned in previous videos, I always found that every second game in the series, like between 2, 4 and 6, especially on the PS2, would actually end up being the best entries of those games, because like the first game, even 3 and 5 were all good games in their own right, but they just weren't as easily accessible or just didn't feel as fluent or as easy to pick up and play compared to 2, 4 and 6. It might sound crazy when you think about it, but for long time players you would definitely notice those subtle changes and differences, and this is definitely one of the best soccer games of all time. There's no ifs or buts about it, it really is. With this game sold by the bucket load, it has a massive dedication of fans across the board, and you can almost guarantee that if you ask anybody that's a fan of the Pro Evolution Soccer series that have played it for a number of years, will often reference the fourth entry as being one of the best and one of the most favourite experiences. It just has so much to offer, with so many leagues, game modes, multiplayer features, and just it's an all-round generally very very good experience that I highly recommend that you check out if you're a fan of soccer games. And even to this day I still consider it to be one among some of the best soccer games ever created, as I genuinely believe that even though soccer games today are good in their own right, there's too many features and too many rules and dynamics that in some respects, kind of like modern football, takes away from a lot of the fun elements of the game, and therefore leaves it that it's not as straightforward to pick up and play. So I do believe that the eras between the 5th and 6th generation of consoles are definitely the best period for some of the best soccer games that have ever been seen and produced, and those are the soccer games that I do recommend that anybody check out and play if you really are a fan of the Pro Evolution Soccer series. And I would love to know your thoughts of Pro Evolution Soccer 4 for the PlayStation 2 if you have played it back in the day, and if so, what do you think of the game overall? I'd love to hear whatever stories you have with the game, so be sure to share it down in the comments below. And if you have enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to be updated of future videos. And if you would like to see more content around other types of soccer games also seen on the PlayStation 2, then you can check out this playlist here on screen to see more of those games in action. And I will see you all in the next one.